more Twitter drama because, oh boy, since Elon took over, it's just been absolutely nonstop. And once again, I do want to recommend Breaking Twitter by Ben Menzarek. Really, really good book. Pretty much explains sort of the early days, how Elon took over and all the crazy stuff that he was going to do, like go to potential war with Apple. And then someone literally had to dangle keys in front of him to distract him from the fact that he could have potentially absolutely torpedoed the company if he had decided to do that. Really good book. If you are interested in the bizarre ongoings of Twitter, definitely worth a read. But I want to have a look at this other article that recently happened, but this is sort of a response to Musk. So recently, a journalist from the Business Insider, Zoe Schifter, Schiefler, I think that's how it's pronounced, wrote an article, and she brought up the fact that if you go on Twitter now, everything's about Elon. And she brought forward these accusations that he, Elon Musk, was gaming Twitter's algorithm so that he could have all the attention. It would be like, oh yes, this is, Twitter's meant to be this big, market square of free speech, but just everyone just happens to be, all the signs, all the directions just happen to be pointing at Elon Musk's market stall. So for some reason, you just can't seem to get away with it. So he responded, did Musk, and attacked her on this. So we're going to go over her response because she's now dropped some more information about what's been going on from some of the engineers currently still inside of Twitter. And yeah, it just once again just goes to show you what an absolute dumpster fire Twitter has now become. And to be honest, I don't see how longer this platform survives, as you'll see in a moment. But there you go. So, as always, thank you very much, of course, for tuning in and watching. Like I say, please do remember to click on the like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below there are links to my Patreon page, the one foundation link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can buy me coffee. There's the YouTube thank you button, and of course, there's a Pony Club down below as well. So let's go over to Business Insider to see her response to Musk on this and the new tea that she spills on this. But she also wrote her own book as well, which again I might actually get on this. So, Elon Musk sat in the skybox at State Farm Stadium watching the Super Bowl in Glendale, Arizona, with the News Corp CEO Rupert Murdoch and his daughter Elizabeth Murdoch. It was a very balmy 78 degrees, and the Kansas City Chiefs were up against the Philadelphia Eagles. As usual, Musk split his attention between scrolling on his phone and watching the game. Shortly after kickoff, Musk tweeted, "Go Eagles," along with 6 American flag emojis. Less than an hour later, President Biden posted his support for the Eagles too, saying, "As your president, I'm not picking favorites," he said, "but as Jill Biden's husband, fly Eagles fly." The text appeared above a video that showed Jill Biden wearing an Eagles jersey that read Biden over the number 46. Few would obviously dispute the fact that Musk was generally better at using Twitter than Joe Biden, but Biden's Super Bowl tweet was the clear winner. And this just goes to show you how petty Elon Musk is. The fact that he now has this platform, like he owns Twitter, and the fact that if he gets ratioed, if he puts out a tweet and he doesn't get the most attention, well, then clearly there is something broken because, Elon Musk deserves it all, right? Anyway, it was a very clearly jokey and cute, a very unselfish, unconscious ode to his wife. But Musk checked the view counts. His tweet had 91 million impressions. Biden's tweet had 29 million impressions. Then, around 8:15 Pacific time, the game ended, and the Eagles had lost on the last second field goal, 38-35, and Musk was furious. He deleted his tweet. Musk then got on his jet and flew from Arizona to Oakland, where he headed straight for this Twitter office. On Monday, the February 13th, 2023, it was a very rare cloudy day in Santa Barbara, while Musk was traveling back from the Super Bowl. I'd been flying from Oakland to Santa Barbara after a very whirlwind reporting trip, on which I had somehow thought my once bright 1-year-old daughter and still got work done, but I'm glad I was home. I was then surprised when I opened Twitter to see an entire feed of Elon Musk. There he was tweeting about Dogecoin. And there he was again, commenting on a video of a shirtless man in snow with two pickaxes. And again, taking shit about the press. Vanity Unfair has fallen so far. Sigh. Okay, what's going on? Is everyone else's attire for you? Elon replies. I asked on Twitter. More than 900 people then responded, and most of them with variations of yes. My phone then buzzed. An unknown number was trying to message me on Signal. It said, "Hi, is this Zoe?" The message read. I am a current, quote, Twitter employee, and I want to share some details if you're interested. Oh boy. The tea is about to be spilled. Because things get interesting. So, in a past life, the message would have made me ecstatic. But I've grown very wary since reporting on Elon. Nearly every time I've published a story about the CEO, my messages get flooded with angry dispatches from his fans. And it wasn't hard to imagine that one might try to trick me to try and pose as a possible source. So I asked for identity verification. This is when the employee sent over a badge and an ID, and I asked what they wanted to talk about. He said, basically, over the past week, Elon has grown more and more frustrated with the engagement counts dropping. Last week, he fired an engineer over this, the employee said, referring to Yang. He had been pushing all engineers to do investigations daily. Meetings are scheduled at 11 p.m. and often last until midnight. The issues we are trying to solve are very simple. Why are Elon's tweet counts dropping? And that is the end. And that is, and that just, I can't believe it. This man is so ego driven. He bought this company and now he's like, I don't care. I'm using this platform to only boost me. I am the only one. Well, once again, probably not how you should be running a Twitter company. I think that, maybe Meta's investors would have a lot to say to to their boss if he started acting like this. So anyway, continue. So they're solving this. They were round the clock trying to solve this. Why is simple? So why are Elon tweet counts dropping? It's that and only that, not about other accounts. I reached out to another handful of employees to see what they knew. The more people I spoke to, the more insane the story got, as employees revealed the full details on what happened on the previous evening on engagement night, which is what they call the post-Super Bowl work marathon that resulted in Twitter artificially boosting Musk's tweets. So think about this for a second. This gained its own following called Engagement Night. Uh, I have to say, I feel so sorry for these employees. I really do. Um, I then received a document which was titled "All Hands on Deck," in which this stated the goal was to figure out why engagement was different between these tweets. The tweets in the document were the Musk's and Biden's Eagles tweet, which were posted that day of the Super Bowl, along with a snapshot of Twitter's code that showed that Musk's tweets were being boosted. More documents followed. Once I had everything that I needed, I then told Casey Newson it was about time that we go. And we hit publish. Yes, Elon created a special system for showing you all his tweets first. The platform headline read, after his Super Bowl tweet did worse numbers than President Biden's CEO ordered a major change to the algorithm. And yet, this is meant to be the free speech platform. All speech is meant to be, treated equally on Twitter, except, of course, unless Elon Musk. Then, you've got to play the algorithm so that everyone sees what you've got to say. The story was an immediate hit on Twitter, and this confirmed what many had suspected, but no one had been able to prove, that Musk was rigging the game to favor his own account. The next few days went by without any major news. And Musk had more or less admitted that there was something fishy going on with the algorithm, tweeting the meme of force feeding his tweets to regular users and writing, quote, "Please stay tuned while we make adjustments to the algorithm." But on February the 17th, the CEO came out swinging, publishing and reporting my reporting for the very first time for the quote, the source of the bogus platformer article in this very disgruntled employee who had been put on paid time off for months. He had already accepted a job at Google, and it felt the need to be personal on the way out, he said. Twitter will be taking legal action against him. So if you do report, if you do blow the whistle about this, Elon Musk silencing whistleblowers. I'm sure Elon Musk has never, ever had a tweet or advocated for people whistleblowing, right, at companies. Just not when it's about him or companies he owns. What the hell? I thought. What is he talking about? All my sources for the story were current Twitter employees. I had a news source who had reached out to me about the story, left, and then gone to Google in 3 days since the article had come out. I tried calling, but the source didn't answer. I called again, no answer. Now I was starting to panic. Already, a reporter at Inside was trying to reach out, asking me and Newton if he wanted to comment on Musk's allegations. Then I got an unexpected call from a contact at Whistleblower Aid, an organization that had coordinated 2 exposés with the Washington Post. They were concerned that Musk was going to sue one of their clients who was, in fact, a former Twitter employee who'd gone to work at Google. On January the 24th, the Washington Post had published an explosive report detailing alleged privacy violations from a new Twitter whistleblower. Once again, I will repeat this now. Do not store, for the love of God, do not store any private information or anything like that across Google. Even if you have shared it in the past, delete those posts, delete those messages, because Twitter is just not a safe platform anymore, thanks to Elon Musk. Um, anyway, it continues. The whistleblower claimed that Twitter's security controls were so relaxed that any engineer could access a feature called God Mode, allowing them to tweet from any account, including accounts belonging to Elon Musk and Barack Obama. That's not worrying at all, is it? The fact that there is this feature called God Mode, which just allows you to tweet anything you want. That's not worrying at all, being controlled by Elon Musk at all, is it? In the past, there was a way to take the tweet service, run it yourself, and to make a tweet as anybody. The former employee told me. It would then send the tweet to the back end, and the back end didn't have any way of knowing that it wasn't the main tweet service. In other words, Twitter didn't have strong protections against internal attacks. Current employees were skeptical of the whistleblower's claims. The program he was referring to, which has then since been renamed, quote, preferred mode, was now carefully tracked. Engineers were not incentivized to mess with their user data than any more than your USP driver is not motivated to contaminate your contaminate your parcels. One told me. I had found this statement slightly ahistorical, as back in December of 2022, a former Twitter employee had been sentenced to 3 years in prison for spying on behalf of Saudi Arabia. Clearly, the company did need to worry about internal threats, even if they were rare. Now, 3 weeks after the Washington Post article came out, I was seriously confused. Elon Musk seemed to implying that the God mode whistleblower, who'd I'd never spoken to and who no longer worked at Twitter, was somehow feeding me accurate information about what was currently going on at the company. As I tried to work out what was going on, my source called back, and they were able to speak to me on FaceTime. They were still working at Twitter, but felt understandably nervous about Musk's tweet, but they had no idea what he was talking about. Oh, pardon me. Newton and I put forward a very forceful statement saying that we stood by our reporting, and Musk never followed through on his threat. In some ways, my story had already played right into the hands of making the main character of the day. First, Twitter had been full of Musk tweets. Then it was full of tweets complimenting that there were too many Musk tweets, and then my reporting explaining what had happened just drew attention back to him. By the extent of the week, did anyone even remember there had been a Super Bowl? Um, yeah, honestly, I'm very tempted to get this book. This is one of the reasons why I thought this would be good to cover. It's called Extremely Hardcore Inside Elon Musk Twitter. So breaking Twitter is like goes over Elon Musk sort of buying Twitter and the process he went through that and sort of the first couple of months. This book covers what's going on now and some of the stories going on in there. And the idea now that you've got this guy, Elon Musk, doing all this, having all this incredible power and internal security not being overly that strong. And the fact that, of course, this year we've got more elections happening around the world where his own platform currently being, of course, investigated by the EU, which if they find against it, they could end up just blocking Twitter from Europe. There's just honestly, there's just so much going on here. Um, just so much going on at Twitter, and I will tell you now, and I've said this. I think I've said this before. I cannot wait for like in like a couple of years' time. It's going to be like 2 or 3 years' time, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone's, if not working on it already, um, the documentary about all this. and the crazy inside stuff and some of the other stuff that's probably going on in there that we still don't know about. Um, that would be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. So, yeah, not surprising, of course. Elon Musk's an egomaniac, and to no one's surprise, he's demanding that he gets all the attention, and he is gaming the system. To which, bear in mind, he used to accuse the old Twitter uh, bosses of doing this. One of the reasons why he bought Twitter. So, um, yeah, Twitter continues to be a continuing absolute dumpster fire. But again, I will repeat what we said earlier. Twitter is not a safe platform. Um, Please make sure you do not have any personal information or anything like that saved on Twitter. If you do, get rid of it. So, as always, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you all next time.